Namaskar, welcome and welcome to Tweak the Week, our weekly show where we try to make sense of a lot of news that floats around. This week, unfortunately, we didn't make sense of anything because hardly anything happened other than the fact that like Bala said, Bala, I'm quoting you with your permission. Like Bala said, Bala said the top leadership of the country, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, they spend more time in Bengal and Kerala and Tamil Nadu than they did in Delhi. So which Bala sort of likened to RCB trying to win the IPL. So Bala, more desperate than
you're
than
right.
that. So
I mean, you said nothing really happened because when the elections happen, nothing else really happens in India. That is the problem, and that is, I mean, one of the reasons why this government has been batting for single election, common election across states. There are pluses and minuses for it. I mean, that is a thing that can be debated. So, I mean, this edition is certainly not going to debate that. We'll certainly primarily discuss Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the two states that go for polls on April 6th, which is just 3 days away. And both are pretty crucial because they have bucked the national trend in keeping BJP away. So that holds a lot of importance from a national perspective. Don't you think so, Raj?
Yeah, definitely, because I mean, which is why that what do you say? I mean, the full force of the BJP is in these two states. The Prime Minister, I think, had rallies in at least 2 or 3 major districts of Kerala, if I remember right.
Same is the case in Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. So now, what does it all mean? I don't know, because this time there has been a lull in the overall elections, is the way I feel. Maybe it is due to COVID.
In Kerala, you mean to say in Kerala?
In Kerala, the activity is there. People are coming out. It's there, but maybe it is due to COVID, because COVID, the second wave, or as like the first one, second wave started in Kerala. Now Kerala seems to have sort of receded, and it is other states are taking over in terms of COVID numbers. So somewhere I think that could be the reason. Another reason could be that the general mood was that for once the LDF will buck the trend and actually continue in power.
So they will beat the anti-incumbency trend.
Which is very unique in Kerala, because it never happens. It's always one coming for the other. And another trend which I was reading about recently was certain communities which were known BJP supporters during the famous Sabarimala issue 2 years back. They seem to be sort of disillusioned with the local leadership. And that is the reason why BJP brought in somebody of as eminent as E. Sridharan of the Delhi Metro Corporation and what is that?
Kochi Metro.
Kochi Metro, Delhi Metro, our Konkan Railway. So I don't want to call him.
He is a sterling technocrat. He had been a sterling technocrat. But tell me, does BJP have a chance at all to make some kind of an impact? I don't say they're going to make it to the government or anything. In terms of winning seats, 4 or 5 would be great for BJP.
Yeah, in a 120-member assembly, even if they get, they claim that they'll get a majority, but then that is what they need to claim, right? Otherwise, you can't get the party cadre with you. So that is their claim. But I don't see BJP having done enough over this period to be able to justify that. So there is BJP has not really been at the forefront of any major activity. So, for example, classic scenario where the local BJP leaders in a couple of districts that I am aware of, they lost face was the anti-farmer, the farmer agitation, when these fellows went anti-farmer. Their left parties joined hands and said, you know what, you are anti-farmer. So not that Kerala had anything to do with the farmer agitation, but then you know how the
things pan out. Yeah, it's one of those strange things. So coming back to UDF and LDF, who is inching ahead? Or is it too close to call, to use our famous, most popular cliche that our own news persons regularly use in India, though it has come from India, from America, too close to call.
It basically means that we don't know. I will as well go and say I have no clue. What I'm being told though is that anti-incumbency is not a factor this time as much as it was in the previous occasions. That's what I'm hearing. There might be close contests. The Communist Party is the left. The CPM is cadre based, so there is no dearth of road shows. There is no dearth of activity. In fact, Rahul Gandhi went through my constituency in Kerala. Why not? Multiple times. Actually, he was. I'm sure some of the pictures.
It's Rahul's constituency.
I mean, my constituency as in like I belong there. He doesn't belong there.
I couldn't help pulling your leg.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, see, and there is a purpose for that, right? I mean, he came there as a second thought. I have always been there.
Yeah.
So,
that's a fact.
yeah, that's a fact. So he was actually traveling on the footboard of a jeep, of an SUV, and going through the road. They have done all the Congress has done its bit, but my feeling is the infighting is Congress is what is, if at all, is going to harm Congress. I think that is where the challenge is. I'm not taking specific constituency-wise things because you can catch all of that in open any Malayalam channel, you will get 280 views. That is
But you're
different.
right about not talking about specific constituency is the right way to, because everybody does that and there is no point to it. Because one day after they show it, people actually forget it. There is no point to it because they are going to turn up on May 2nd and just going to work. Nobody's really bothered about individual constituency unless there is a specific name, big name
Correct.
or anything. There is no point to it, and you're right. Because in general, what is what, and we generally cater to that. And if it is, if you are, your general prediction for Kerala, it would be neck and neck with LDF slightly being ahead.
I would say LDF should cross the line. I would be very surprised if BJP goes beyond that one seat that it has.
Okay.
There is no major. See, Sridharan is their biggest. What do you say? Calling card, if I might call it that.
Yeah, he is their trump card, and
Trump
he
card,
got an endorsement from nobody less than Mohanlal.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because Mohanlal is
matter.
Mohanlal in Kerala. Film stars don't matter. Number one, if Mohanlal says, Suresh Gopi is also there, by the way. Suresh Gopi is campaigning for the BJP, so all of that is there.
He is a BJP member, no? He's an MP.
Yeah. So in Kerala, that doesn't matter. Palakkad traditionally has the Nair population. I don't see, which is why I was saying the Nair population seems to be not holding BJP in the same esteem that they did 2 years back.
Okay.
And that only time will tell. I think we'll leave it there because
Palakkad,
Palakkad has a very strong communist presence, by the way. That doesn't go anywhere.
Raj, when you say film stars don't hold much sway in politics in Kerala, you don't deserve to be the, a neighbor of Tamil Nadu, Raj.
Seriously. No, in Tamil Nadu, the biggest thing that has happened over the last couple of days is Rajinikanth being given the Dada Saheb
Phalke Award. See, obviously, without mixing our words or anything, it was given with an eye on elections. That is certainly the case. But if at all somebody deserves it, it's Rajini also. Let's face it. It's not just his style or mannerisms. Man is capable of acting. He has done an umpteen number of films, and he has a body of work to show for it. Of course, you can always compare him with Kamal Haasan. Those things are bound to be there. But that man on his own, as a standalone, deserves the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. So it is just unfortunate it was given at the time of elections. That's one of those things that is inevitable in a country like India because we have precedents for that before.
I have a slightly different perspective. Dada Saheb Phalke Award. If Dada Saheb Phalke were alive today, I'm sure he would have objected to his name being associated with the award and given to many people. But then that's a separate topic. We'll leave
that's
it.
That's a separate, exactly.
We'll
but Rajinikanth, in my book, deserves it because he's a phenomenon. I'm not ready to belittle just because he's a commercial. To be a commercial actor.
There's nothing commercial, non-commercial. See,
because to to capture the attention of millions of people with your, that's what, that in it's also some kind of a cinematic excellence. It need not be just about acting or your histrionics. There are other things that you do on screen.
That is what I'm saying. That is where I'm saying Dada Saheb Phalke Award is for histrionics. So we'll leave it there. That is exactly what I said. So
I don't know. Okay,
that is the way it is. That is the way it is. That is the way it was. So when it was created, that is why it was created. So see, every award goes after some time, it gets toned down.
But when you give it for music directors, art directors, not art directors, general film director.
Why not? My point. See, I always agree to the why not.
No, why not?
Before the why not, I always have a question why. Because even the national award. If Kangana Ranaut can get a national award and Akshay Kumar can get one. I think Rajinikanth deserves it far more than either of these guys.
Shivaji has never won a national
award. Yeah, there you go. So that is the point. That is where the challenge is. So we'll drop it there. But how will it impact? My question is, will this impact the elections at all? The voting?
Certainly not.
Excellent.
See, for one, Rajinikanth as a political force is nothing. There isn't anything. And in any case, it's more likely that Rajinikanth's most loyal fans tend to vote to the right wing. When I say right wing, I mean BJP. So even without this Phalke award, they would be anyway voting for the BJP. And it may not be of much help to BJP because BJP, then again, like in Kerala, if at all it can win 2 seats, it will be great for it. But otherwise, I don't think it is going to make much headway in Tamil Nadu politics, at least. But it is making headway in Tamil Nadu politics, but it is not going to transform into electoral gains against as of now, at least as of now. But it is sowing the seeds. But there are enough indications that it is growing, but not electorally, at least now. And I don't see it making much progress in terms of.
So let me ask you a bigger question, Bala, because see, one of the questions that I was thinking about Kerala was, see, you know how the communist party in India is on the wane. It's just there today. It's there only in Kerala, across India. So, so there is. It's a question of Pinarayi Vijayan is there. After Pinarayi, who those questions will come in Kerala? I'm saying quickly going back to Kerala. So in Kerala, I foresee a scenario where there could be a BJP and Congress battle going on at some time. Do you foresee something similar with DMK, ADMK eventually being one and the BJP being the arch rival?
That is a possibility. That's a very good question. In fact, very insightful. That is something that some of the ADMK cadre fear, because the general perception is ADMK as of now, with those two leaders, EPS and OPS, are being puppeted by the BJP from behind. That's the general perception. How much of it is true is something that's open to conjecture. But that is something that will get pronounced as the days go by, once the elections are over. And in which case, if BJP, if at all it is going to grow, it will eat into the vote of the ADMK. And ADMK doesn't have any great leader, just as you say among the communist parties in Kerala. ADMK also doesn't have any. They don't have any great. Success. Great leadership pantheon. I don't see that in the ADMK. Of course, there is nothing in DMK also, because once you take off Stalin, there isn't anything. You have your regular leaders. That's about it. But BJP, if at all it is going to grow, it is going to grow at the cost of ADMK. Eventually it will come to a stage where it will gobble the ADMK up, and it can come to a situation where it will be DMK representing Tamil and Dravidian, whatever Dravidian, because Dravidian it's a very contentious term because it involves pan-South, but there isn't any pan-South involvement because neither Karnataka, Andhra or Kerala are too much enamored of Tamil Nadu politicians, and it is vice versa. Tamil Nadu is not too much enamored of Kerala or Karnataka or Andhra. That's a different story. But it will be eventually between DMK and BJP. But as of now, BJP hasn't grown enough to be electorally successful. As far as this elections go, then again, without getting into the specifics of individual constituency, it can be certainly set with certain amount of conviction that it is the DMK which looks like to be the winner.
Okay, so we'll drop it there. We'll leave it there and come back to discussing this once the results are out.
Yeah, the election will be on April 6th. The results will be on May 2.
May 2nd.
May 2nd. Nearly a month, because we need to get over Bengal election.
Yes.
So, but it will be interesting because what has happened is, it's one of the more, what we generally thought, because with Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi not around, we thought the election campaign would be less vitiated. Far from it, it was worse. It was very personal, and some of the things that were said by politicians from across all parties, across all parties, it didn't deserve to be discussed at all with.
We said that yesterday. In the last edition.
That's the reason I'm not going into those specifics. But it was one of the worst. That was one of the worst.
Yeah, we'll stop it there. We'll leave it there and we'll see what happens. So great, thanks a lot. That's the tweak of the week. Like I said, there was nothing much.
We have stuck our neck out and said it's slightly LDF and slightly DMK in Tamil Nadu,
and we'll see what happens
respectively.
Yes. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with another edition. Till such time, stay safe. COVID is still around. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Thanks, Raj.